Red Marketing. We help people with Google problems. That's kind of what we're here to talk about today is Google Merchant Centers and the issues around them. So if you have a problem and you would like some guidance, I'm absolutely here to answer any questions you may have. I'll just kind of open up the floor to anybody who has anything kind of going on.
Good afternoon, Randall.
Hello. Who's this?
This is Matt Bailey.
Hey,
Hope
Matt.
you're well.
Doing well. Do you have a problem or can I answer something for you?
Yeah, I do have a couple of technical things that I'm working on with support there. The Google Merchant Center business information, there's a section for checkout and a section for accepted payment methods. I'm a little concerned that I don't have these set up properly. So I just want to make sure that I got them right. One, I don't have set up at all. The checkout, it says give ready to buy customers the option to land directly in your checkout link. I don't recall setting up a checkout link for Google Merchant Center.
So
I must have though, right? When I set up the shop, right?
Yeah, so it's not, you don't actually have to set up like a checkout link. It's not a requirement in Google Merchant Center that you do this step. It's just something that will help you with like your conversions and doing allowing like an expedited checkout. So if you go to like Google Shopping, you can see that like some items have like a buy now status where like if you click that, it will just take you right to the checkout page instead of landing on like the product page. So it's definitely something you should try and set up. And if you click on that checkout link, there is like a little bit of guidance there that shows you like what the URL should kind of look like. And then you just have to go and navigate to your Shopify store and kind of initiate a checkout to capture the link.
So do I need a checkout link for all my other products? If people do go to the product pages and then purchase, how do they, will they still need a checkout link in order to make?
No, that's just a standard setup that happens when you create a Shopify store. So if somebody lands on your page, they like the product, they click add to cart, then they go to checkout, you're already all good. This bypasses that inside of the Google Shopping environment.
Okay. Now, how about the payment methods, the accepted payment methods below that? Same page, business information. There's a spot for digital wallets and a spot for buy now, pay later. And that's all that's there right now.
So that I believe is set up correctly as well, because I think that's just the additional services. Hold on one second. Let me look at a merchant center.
Well, I have buy now, pay later. I have indicated here you don't have buy now, pay later set up on Google. But the digital wallets, I have two options, Apple Pay and Shop Pay. Those two.
Cool. Yeah, so if you've Shop Pay, that's a buy now. Oh no, that's not a buy now, pay later. That's just a standard account. Hold on, I'm literally pulling one up to look.
Okay. Yeah, I did follow those links and study that Shop Pay option, and that's why I have that in there. Apple Pay, do I need to set up an Apple account then? Or is that just
inside of the backside of Shopify, you'll see that you will have a ability to apply it. It's in like your checkout settings in the backside of Shopify, and you have to apply to be able to accept it.
Okay.
Where is this? Cool. So yeah, you can select a firm and then add it to the buy now, pay later, because that's what Shopify uses for that. And then just make sure that you have the other ones initiated for you to be accepting them, right? Otherwise, you will run into an issue down the road.
Okay. Yeah, because when I started doing more research in the support documents that are in Google Merchant Center, I don't have anything set up there. So the checkout link template, do I need to go through this process here? Is like a 10, 12-step process. There's two methods. This is for products from feed to API. Better results, ease of shopping, ease of participation.
So you can definitely set this up and you will have like a better conversion rate for setting it up. But again, it's not like a requirement.
Okay.
You want to do the include a URL to your cart or checkout page and then follow those steps to get that done.
Okay.
Cool. So guys, for everybody who just kind of joined a little bit, my name is Randall. I'm the owner of Red Marketing. We help people with Google problems. Today, this conversation is around Google Merchant Centers. If you have any problems though with Google in general, I'll happily answer them. I'll just kind of take the conversations as we go. If somebody else is talking and you have a question, just go ahead and raise your hand and then I will answer your question next.
Can you give me, this is Matt again, Randall.
Yeah.
The business manager, it has a lot of similar content in it. And I had actually forgotten to open mine in a while, and I had a lot of leads in there that I had to follow up on. But with between the business manager and the other merchant center, how do you divide the responsibilities between those two things, or they work together? Can you explain the
So
differences of those a little bit?
yeah, business manager is just kind of like an environment where you can kind of manage everything about your business, right? So like your Google My Business, your Google Ads account, your Google Merchant Center. Each one of those though is a subdivided product. So you want to spend more time inside of your business manager. And once you get your merchant center launched and running, you definitely want to ping in there maybe like once a week just to make sure everything's kind of copacetic. Because there is a lot of times where things go up and down, especially products. They'll have like a problem boom with a product one day, and you'll just need to go in there and maybe make a quick little edit and then bring that product back in online. The business center, you want to kind of go in there maybe again also about once a week and just double check, make sure everything's linked correctly, and you'll see different asset groups inside of there. So it's just a way to like link all your stuff together is what business manager does.
Okay. Now within that business manager platform there, I have 3 different looks like they're account numbers in here. I might have set one up, and then didn't actually see it active, or it took some time to mature. So I set up another one so I have 3 of them in there. I'm sure you have a lot more than that.
So we're both working on the same thing.
So are those account numbers business manager account numbers, or are they
Yes.
a Google business profile? Okay, yeah. So you definitely want to go back through and get rid of the excess ones. Just pick one and work out of one. You only need different business manager accounts if you have like different businesses and you want to kind of like organize them in per account level.
So I should get rid of the other ones.
Yeah, the ones that, yeah, because you don't need more than one for one business.
Can I just hang on to them in case I'm going to use them in the future, or is there an additional charge for those?
No, there's no necessary reason to get rid of them other than organization and cleanliness or best practices. So you can totally hang on to them, but if it was me, I would totally get rid of them because that would frustrate me.
Well, what I did actually is relabel them. So one has like my Shopify backend email that it's linked to. So the other one is actually linked to support email using the domain as the target for that email. So what email do you use in your business manager? Do you use your support email? Do you use your email, your Gmail from going through the training course? I think I was overusing that.
Yeah, you want to use an email that's only unique to you, right? So as your store kind of grows, you'll probably want to pass the support needs off to somebody else, right? Like a virtual assistant or or somebody else inside of like your business unit as your business unit grows. So you want to make sure that support email doesn't have access to anything that's super vital to operations other than like responding to emails and maybe approving refunds and stuff of that nature. Because if you give somebody access to that email, then they have access to everything inside of that scope, right?
Okay, yeah, you can. That's what I was wondering, how you narrow it down, and that actually gives you support from from a using additional third-party sources, right?
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So
Okay.
like in a few months time, you start killing it and you're like, oh man, I'm tired of answering all these support questions. And you hire a virtual assistant, then you can give them the login credentials for the support email. And then you want to make sure that that email doesn't have access to anything that's too pertinent to you, right? Like it shouldn't have admin access to your Shopify store. It should be segregated out to very limited responsibilities.
Okay. There's a section in here for setting up a business profile. I don't have anything set up there currently. Should I do that? Is that again just for managing the content purposes, or
Yeah.
is that absolutely
Yeah.
necessary?
No, it's not. It's not super necessary. Definitely, as you start to grow, it's a big recommendation to set up a Google My Business profile. It's a free tool offered by Google where you can collect like really good reviews, as well as then you can use that for an SEO kind of effort for people who are maybe looking for you, for them to find just all your information right there.
Okay. And then I think the people and access is pretty straightforward, but below it, there's a payments profile. Do I need to have that set up? Because that I have no payments profile linked.
Yeah, you should actually have two different payments profiles. In my opinion, you should have an organizational one and an individual one. The organizational one should be associated to your Google Ads account, as well as like any other additional Google services that you want to use. For example, like Google Workspace. And then the individual one, you just want to kind of keep in your back pocket in case you have any problems with your organizational one.
So how do I link those in there, Randall?
You have to create them. So if you don't already have them, right? So like if you have a Google Ads account, you should already have an organization payment profile for your Google Ads account.
So this,
If
there's not really an area on this business manager.
Yeah, so it's probably not associated to this email.
But this is
where
the
you would
email right
want.
here. Or this is
Okay,
the
so go to your
ads account, yeah. Admin
go to admin and then billing.
billing.
So it's billing, on the hard left, and then settings. Cool. Okay, so you have an individual payment profile set up here. Totally fine, right? It totally works. It's not, you don't need to link this into the business manager account.
This right here.
Yeah.
Google
No,
Merchant
this
Center
is
account.
merchant next. Yeah. The business account. Yeah, here.
Right here.
Yeah, and then if you want, you can click that link there about learn more how to link them, but it's not, again, a necessity.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Cool, man.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for all your great questions. I really appreciate it. So, guys, again, my name is Randall, owner of Marketing. If you have any questions, feel free to just kind of jump in here. I can answer any question you might have about Google. If you have any problems about Google, I might have a solution. That's what our whole agency is built around, is helping people with Google problems. How can I help you?
Can you hear me?
Yep, sure can.
Oh, hi, Randall. So, yeah, I'm having some issues with Google, my Google Merchant account. I have one product on there, and it's saying I'm violating some policy.
Okay, does
I
it say
don't know what it.
misrepresentation?
What?
Does it say misrepresentation?
Hold on.
Yeah, just go to your Google Merchant Center. A bright pink bar will display, and then hit that fix button right there, and then it will give you like a synopsis.
Okay, that's what it says. Yeah, it said misrepresentation based on information available
Yeah,
about your
you don't
business.
need to read all that. The rest of that's pretty standard. What I need to know next is the very last line of that is it says Google found this issue, and it will say either through an automated check or a manual check.
Automated checks.
Okay. So with automated checks, they're a little bit more cumbersome than manual checks. Automated checks usually mean that there's some kind of setup failure and you're failing at like the bot level. So when you sign up for a Google Merchant Center, the first thing that happens is a robot comes by, it scans your site, it scans all your information, and then does a couple of cross checks on that information. If it doesn't approve it, that's when you get hit with misrepresentation and you fail for an automated check. So first thing I always tell people to look at is their policies. Make sure that your policies that are inside of your merchant center are one for one of what's on your website. Go through your policies and read them line for line and make sure that you don't have contradicting information in there, right? Contradicting information would be our handling time is 1 to 2 business days, and then somewhere down later in the policy you say typically we start shipping products in 3 business days.
Right. Okay. So
Another big thing is your address. Inside of your merchant center, what address did you use?
I'm using my it's a virtual address, not a physical address.
That it's a virtual address.
Say what?
It's a virtual address inside of your merchant center.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you're failing for the automated checks most likely. Back on that misrepresentation screen, do you have a verify identity blue tab?
Let me verify.
Like it will say before you can request a review, click here to verify your identity, and then it'll be like a little hyperlink.
Learn more about misrepresentation.
No, it'd be right on that screen that we were just on. Or are you able to request a review? Is there a button there that says request a review? And are you able to click that?
Let's see. Yeah, I disagree with issue.
And you're able to click that button?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you do a verify identity? Like have you already submitted for a review?
Yes.
Okay. So chances are very likely that you need to close that merchant center because you've already completed identity verification and I don't know, like, do you know if you did it underneath an individual or an organization? Like, did you reuse that address or did you use your home address?
I used my registered, like where I registered my business. Yeah. That's the address I use. I don't know. It's the address for the business. It's not like my home address because you're not supposed to use your home address. I don't.
So with this information, okay, virtual addresses sometimes work, but if you're failing for an automated check, that's most likely your culprit. So what you need to do to get this up and running is you need to close this merchant center. You need to open up a new one, let your products sync, and then usually within about 5 business days, you're going to fail for misrepresentation for an automated check again, and you'll have that verify identity on there. When you open your merchant center, use your personal address that's verifiable to you because that address is only shared between you and Google. Nobody else has access to it unless they have access to your merchant center.
Right.
Then you will do the verify identity, and this time click on, you'll have 2 options. You'll have organization or you'll have individual. Click on individual there, and then verify with your personal information again, right? You'll have to share your ID front and back. And then if they're able to verify it, fantastic. If not, you'll have to provide like a second document, like a utility bill, and then request a review after you get that stuff verified. And you'll be in a much better position then.
All right. So I guess with that, are they going to check like your driver's license has to have the same address as the business address or the address that you're using?
Yeah. So your driver's license should match the address that you put inside of the merchant center at that point.
Okay. All right. But for like when they ask for like the business, like where do you conduct business? Does that, will they ask for that? Like where do you conduct business? Because like I can, the address on my driver's license is it's like a mailing address. It's not.
So it's not like a house or anything.
It is a house, but it's being forwarded to another address.
Okay. Then my biggest recommendation to you is to go get your driver's license updated as well.
Okay.
To whatever your current address is.
Gotcha.
As long as that address on your driver's license pulls up to a house, you would probably be fine.
Yeah, I still own the house.
Okay, then you would
I
totally
still
be fine.
live there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just why you're failing. It's just the virtual address, mate. Make sure you also get it delisted off of your website, anywhere you have that virtual address listed on there. It's not a requirement for you to share an address on your website. It just raises what's called a trust factor. Again, you don't need to do it.
Right. Okay. All right.
Cool.
I'll do that. And is there I guess if we have problems with the with Microsoft, is there a Microsoft one as well? Because I guess
So you're most likely having the same issue with Microsoft. That address that you're using is probably flagged at this point. And what happens is too many people try and use that address, and then these big tech companies just flag it. What you would want to do with that is you would want to, instead of like submitting an appeal there, you want to call Microsoft, and say, hey, I entered in the wrong address. Here's my correct address. And then they'll do a review and get you approved.
Gotcha. Okay. I will try that.
Sounds good, mate.
That's all I have. Well, thank you.
Of course. Hey, brother, I think you are next. I don't know how to say your name. It starts with an F.
Yeah, it's Frank Giraldi. Sorry for that.
No worries.
I have a similar. I'm going to have a similar issue to the gentleman who just finished speaking, because I live in a rural area. My official address is a PO box. It's on my tax return. It's on everything. Is that going to create a problem? Ultimately?
Yes, it is. So what you want to do in your situation is you will want to share your personal address where you live currently, and then enter in that address, and you'll have to share a second document, like a utility bill, right? That has that address listed on it, and then you should be good as well.
So sometimes what I do to overcome these challenges is I list, a 2-line address. So my address, blah, 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 Maple Road, PO Box 505. Is that another way to solve the problem, or?
No, as soon as you put in that PO box, they're going to flag it, and you're going to get hit with an automated check. That's the problem.
So you just have to validate
PO boxes.
So once I validate a street address, I can use the PO box?
No, you can't. So the information that you're sharing with inside of the merchant center is not public information. Okay, so nobody else is going to see that. I would also get like your PO box delisted off your website if you have that listed on your website. Again, it's not a requirement to share an address on the website. So what you just need to do is you just need to provide that verifiable information to Google of where you currently live. Give them a second document with an address listed on it to show that, hey, I actually live here, and then you'll be totally fine.
Okay.
And again, the only people who will have it is you and Google, and I promise you, Google already has it.
I'm sure they do. All right, I appreciate it. I don't have a website yet. I'm sort of, I work full time, so I'm trying to cherry pick what I can attend right away and backfill.
Perfect.
So thanks very much.
Perfect. If you have any other questions, feel free to pop back in, okay? Or
will
hang around.
absolutely-
You'll definitely learn something here.
I'll absolutely do that. Thank you.
Yeah. Surreal, I believe, is how you say that.
Yes, Cyril, but I go by Cy. I just joined a few days ago, and I will have somebody to set up my website. So if somebody doing that for me, all of these questions that these, other members asked, are they going to do that for me as well, or no?
They should set up a merchant center and stuff for you, but there's no. I'm not sure how to like guide this question. So they should absolutely set up a merchant center, should get your website up and operational, but that doesn't mean that they won't run into issues in doing so, which is why High Ticket has partnered with our agency to help people inside of these situations. There's a coach inside of the group who also tries to handle them at a baseline level that's included with that service. That you just kind of mentioned, and they will, if they run into any issues, they'll bring them in and then try and get it resolved. If not, they may reach out to us and try and help resolve the issue. But until you kind of cross that bridge, there's really not a huge concern for you to have like the foresight around. You just want to make sure that while they are building your website and stuff, that you have good, transparent information on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that is something also that I need to learn, because in case I need to open another store, it's me that have to build that website, correct?
Yeah, you definitely want to learn as much as you can.
Yes.
Because once you get one operational, believe me, it becomes like an itch, and you want to get as many of them operational and as many different niches as possible.
Okay. And then if I have to do it, if I have any issues, do we message you? How do we get hold of you?
Yeah, so I'm in Slack. Also, you can find our website here at www.rid.marketing. And then all of our contact information is there. That would redirect you to our main website, but I put in too many W's because apparently I don't work with the internet.
RID.
That will get you there. Yeah, www.rid.marketing, and that will take you to our main website, and then you'll find all of our contact information there. If you give our business line a call, reach out and just leave a message and say, hey, I was in a meeting with Randall, and then I'll be the one who will give you a call back.
Okay. And another question, last one. So if we have to contact you, is this another extra fee that we have to pay you guys, or it's already included on our package?
So our fees are separate outside of anything within High Ticket. Depending on certain situations, our fees are just separate. We offer a reduced rate for all of our services for anybody inside a High Ticket. For example, our done for you merchant center service, which would be basically you just give us access and then we take care of all the problems from A to Z. We charge $2,000 for that outside a High Ticket. Inside a High Ticket, we charge a one-time fee, and that's $1,350. We also have, for people who want to learn about the process or want to be a little bit more hands-on, a done with you service, which is where we'll meet a couple of times, kind of go through everything until we get it right and get it fully set up. We charge a one-time fee for that for $750 then.
How much again?
$750.
Okay. So okay. And then, so when you say one-time fee, that means if I build another store, two or three, or another one, you guys can still help me without charge.
We would charge you for that additional store. It's a
Oh, for
one-time
each
fee,
store.
and then it's a one-time fee for us to help you with the problem, and then we cover the problem with the group for an additional 10 business days. So once you get your store reinstated, we cover that store for an additional 10 days. And then if you were to have like another problem, then it would be an additional fee. We usually charge a reduced rate if it's the same store. If it's a new store, then it'd be a different engagement and then a different fee.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Of course. Of course. Ashley, how can I help?
Hi, Randall. I'm Ashley. I've been working on our website with my husband for the last couple of months, and we had someone do our website for us. We have followed very closely with the modules, and we're on the onboarding modules right now. On the previous person that was asking about the website, what helpful tip can you give us newbies about address? I was kind of trying to follow along, but I got kind of confused and didn't understand. Like, how does this affect us newbies? Because, like I said, we are strictly following the modules, and we've gotten a registered agent, and we're using that registered agent address. So if I'm using the registered agent address and maybe somebody else's, then we're going to get tagged, right? And how soon do we get tagged to have to verify? Because we haven't even, I don't think we've launched our website yet, because we're still reaching out to suppliers and that kind of thing. So anyways, can you help me out? Help me understand what's going on here?
Absolutely. So a registered agent address is actually a really good thing for a business to have just overall. Okay. And that's what you're doing is you're starting a new business. What I'm talking about specifically concerns Google and Google Merchant Centers if we're being really finite. So when you are done and your website's launched and you're ready to start advertising, the next step will be to launch a Google Merchant Center so that way you can start showing your products across Google Shopping. With that, the Google Merchant Center, there's a couple of behind the scenes checks that happen. So if you have a problem with getting your merchant center off the ground, and it's not guaranteed that you will, it's just a lot of people run into this. I would say probably about 60 to 70% of students in high ticket run into this problem in some way or form. Then the first things that you want to look at is what information did I share with Google that would make them not want me to be a part of Google Shopping, right? So a registered agent address sometimes works for people. Other times, too many people have used it. And it's not usually just like one or two businesses. It's like 10 to 15 businesses start trying to use this address and then it gets flagged. I don't know the exact number. So my baseline recommendation for you is just to start with that registered agent address. And then when you make it to this stage, if you're having problems getting your merchant center off the ground, look at that registered agent address and just wipe it from the website. That doesn't mean that it's not vital and it's not useful, because when you're working with your distributors, that's the information you're going to provide them. When you are signing up for credit cards and stuff like that, it's really good to have a different business address than it is from your home address. So it's still a vital tool. It's just sometimes it can cause a little bit of a hiccup down the road within this one very specific category. Does that help?
Yes, that does help. My husband can't be here with me to help. He's the one that's been really working with me a lot. I have basically learned a lot. I'm not very computer savvy at all. So this has been a really, yeah, it's been very fun and interesting and an adventure all in itself. One other question. You said www.rid.marketing, and that's in case
Correct.
if my husband can't get us over the hurdle, if we run into an issue. The one-time fee is 1,000. How much?
So if you want us to do it from A to Z, that's a done for you service. It's $1,350. If you want to work with us and it's a done with you service, so we just tell you, hey, this is what's wrong. It'd be like a meeting like this, but it would just be me and you talking instead of everybody else here, right? We tell you, hey, this is what's wrong. Here's how to fix it. And then you go and fix it. That's a one-time fee of $750. If you want to start that service, you just got to reach out to support over here at High Ticket. So support at highticket.io, and they'll get a payment going and they'll get us brought into the account and everything. Or they'll introduce us. If you're not in Slack, then they'll give me an email and then we'll meet together and set up a meeting and get you going.
Okay. Thank you, Randall, for your help. Appreciate you doing this with us. Thank you.
Of course, anything. Steven, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. So I just have a follow-up question about you mentioned I'm going to have to close my merchant center and then reopen a different one under using a different address. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just okay. So when I do that, I'm using. Will I have to use a different email, or will that look suspicious?
No, I mean, you could use a different email, but you don't need to do it at all. There's a lot of people across the internet who say that you need to do that. And I'm going to tell you right now, Stephen, that that's complete nonsense, right? We're talking again about Google. They make their top dollar number in the billions from their Google Ads environment. How they do that is going into and collecting information, right? They're mostly an information gathering site. So you're not like changing your website. So they all automatically already know just from their systems that this is the same website, even if you change your email. It's a silly thing that people talk about on the internet. Don't fall into misinformation.
Okay. All right. And all right. And you said to do that like in 5 days after, or you want me to do it now?
No, you want to close your merchant center now and open up a new one. The 5-day window is your merchant center. Once you open up a new one, will look good for like 5 days, and then they'll suspend you again for misrepresentation.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. That makes sense. Thanks.
So Stacy put a question in here in chat about removing addresses as a troubleshooting step. I thought it was a requirement to have a customer facing address posted on the website. Is that true? No, it's not a requirement whatsoever. You do not need to have an address listed on your website. There are some rules like in the United Kingdom within their laws, but here in the US, it's not a requirement whatsoever in regards to the law or into regards with Google's code of conduct or terms of service, however you want to phrase their policies. What adding an address does is it raises what's called a trust factor. It's an internal number assigned to your website. So it definitely gives you bonus points for having one there, but it is not a requirement. So if you're having an addressing issue, right? So like if you're failing for automated checks and you need to put a personal verifiable address in the backside of the merchant center, you want to cut it off of your website, not use one at all, because maybe you don't want your personal address up there. If you don't care about that, of having your personal address on your website, go ahead and absolutely throw it up there. You'll get that trust factor bonus, but overall, it's not a requirement. Of course. So I'll be here for like another 20 so minutes, guys. If you have any other questions, I'll happily answer them. Fabulous info, Randall. Thanks. Of course. Diana said, am I able to use the registered agent address on my website? So you can definitely try. It's not always a failure, right? It does work for a lot of people using that registered agent address. I'm specifically talking about when it doesn't work, what you need to do to like next steps, what you can do to try and eliminate that from the problem tree. So if you have one, absolutely try, because if it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, well, now you have the information of what you need to do next to get it going. And again, it's like a fictitious random number. I have no idea how to guide you guys on like how many businesses use this address, because sometimes it works with hundreds of businesses I've seen. And then other times it literally fails with like 5 businesses using the same address. And you can always check by just going to Google Maps and typing that address in. If my physical address is a condo, could I use my address but not my unit number? That's a really good question, Heather. You should probably, so you could potentially put your physical address listed on the site without the unit number, but if you're going to use that inside a merchant center, you need to put the unit number inside of the second address line, because if it fails, you have to verify that information, and they're going to see that on your driver's license and on the utility bill. Of course.
When are you going to have another meeting, Randall? This is Ashley again.
Yeah, so I do this bi-weekly, every other Friday at noon Central Time. So that date will be October 10th is the next time I will be here to have these conversations and help in any way I can. And you can see that in the meetup. There's obviously a meetup link here. Once this one's over and stuff, it just kind of auto updates. I don't update that, but you can add it to your calendar right from the meetup page, and it should just be there for you. But October 12th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Steven, did you raise your hand again?
Yeah. So
Come on, brother.
the address on like in policies, like there's the registered agent address in like most of the policies. Will I have to update those addresses in the policy letters?
Yes. Remove them.
Remove them
Anywhere you have it listed. Yeah, remove them anywhere you have it on the site.
Okay. And use my physical address, my home address.
You don't have to put an address on your website if you don't want to. You can, but you don't have to. So you can just remove them, not have an address in there, just remove any of the information that says, if you need to mail us, mail to, and then put this address. You can just completely remove that. Or if you're like, man, I don't really care, you can put your physical address listed there.
Okay. I didn't know that. Like, okay. So to contact me, just email for
phone
or email.
and email. Yeah.
You don't need an address, physical address. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you don't need an address. Google, so to pass the trust factor level, right? So remember I said that an address adds to your trust factor. There's usually 3 things Google looks for: a phone, an email, and an address. There again, there's no requirement for you to have an address. There's no requirement for you to have a phone number. There's no requirement to have an email. But as a best practice, we found that having 2 out of those 3 things is the way, right? So having a phone number and an email, a support email, you're totally fine.
Gotcha. All right. I got a lot of work to do. Right. Thanks again.
If you want, we'll do it for you. There's a fee, but we'll do it for you.
Yeah. When I start making money, that's.
I get it, brother.
Right.
Rena said in chat, could you just give me a background on yourself, how well you've succeeded in this business, how long you've been in this, will help us encourage us newbies, and what's your best words of wisdom that could focus on us to tackle with something you came across when you first started? So I first started by actually making websites for others, and then I moved into drop shipping myself. Once I was drop shipping and I was kind of doing it pretty well, I realized that Google Ads is like the environment that I needed to excel a little bit more. And so I got a job in digital marketing, working for a marketing agency. So that way they could pay me to train me on how to be better at Google Ads. Once I became vital and understood a lot more about that environment and everything that's kind of going on, I left that agency and I started Rid Marketing. Ever since then, about 3 years ago, we've grown tremendously. We now manage a little bit north of 5 million a month in Google ad spend and help people solve complex problems with Google every single day, from the little startup all the way up to the multi-million-dollar company. Sai, I think you said is how you say your name, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not sure if this question is for you. I was just listening about the registered agent address, and you said that that address needs to be different than our personal address, correct?
No, it doesn't need to be different at all.
Okay.
It can be different, but it doesn't need to be now.
So what is a registered agent address? Can you please
Yeah.
define
So
it?
registered agent address by definition is just what is the address that is associated to your business when you fill out your LLC paperwork. So
Okay.
when you put an address in your LLC paperwork, that becomes your registered agent address. Now, that verbiage gets a little bit confusing because your registered agent address does not need to be like an associated address to you if you don't want it to be, right? So there are companies out there that offer office spaces, co-work spaces, PO boxes is like another one some people use.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that
Yeah.
information that you use when you sign up for your LLC, that's public information. If somebody has your LLC name, they can look it up and find your registered agent address, which is why some people like to have this air gap between them and the business unit itself.
Mm. And also with the email address and phone number, so we have to create a new email address just for our business. And the phone
Yes.
number, do we have to go to our provider again and get another phone number, or what do you
No,
how do you
there's all
suggest?
kinds of services out there that offer a very cheap rate on like an air gap phone number, like open phone is one that I think that the community here recommends, where basically you just go to them, you pay like, it might be like 10 or 12 bucks a month. I'm not 100% sure. And then they provide you with a phone number, and then
Okay.
they forward that phone number to wherever you want it to be forwarded to.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Of course. Words of wisdom. Katrina, words of wisdom is, this is a business. Starting a business is going to have highs and lows to it. So just remember that even when you're in the lows, that a high is coming. You just have to sometimes put your head down and keep on grinding, even when you don't think that it's working.
That's really great, Randall. Thank you so much. I need that.
Of course.
I need to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just the way it is. Every business has ups and downs. There's nothing new about that. And no business is unsusceptible to it. Apple, everybody knows who Apple is. Everybody knows what Apple is. They announce their new iPhone, they lose like 100 million in stock evaluation, right? That's a low for them. But now they get to overcome that low and hopefully sell a bunch of their iPhones. Guys, I got like less than 10 minutes left. So if you have any other questions, I will happily answer them. If not, I'm going to start kind of signing off here, and I will be back in 2 weeks.
We'll prepare our questions for you in 2 weeks.
Please do.
Thank
Please
you.
do. It makes this hour go by way quicker when there's conversation.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Well, then, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. It's been great talking to you. I really appreciate all the conversations we have. My name's Randall, I'm owner of Red Marketing. If you need any help, you can find us at www.rid.marketing. I'm also here in Slack. I'm also here through email. Whatever you guys need, we'll be back on October 10th. I believe it said it was at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Thanks, Randall.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye now.